Good morning, beautiful, beautiful, intelligent black people. I hope that all is well in your world and this day in early July of 2020 become a very enjoyable, a very successful day, a very good day for you and all of your wonderful, wonderful black loved ones. Beautiful black people, we are in a war. We have been in a war. Our ancestors were in a war. It has been 401 years now. And on July the 5th of 2020, we are still fighting that same war against white supremacy, racism, etc., etc. White folks are still on a mission. They still see it as their duty to perfect what Hitler were trying to do in Germany. And that is create a level, an environment of white purity, white genetic purity, white genetic purity, because Hitler knew then, excuse me, and these racist white folks, Republicans, know right here on this plantation called America, they know that in order to preserve their white genetic purity, they have to eliminate, especially black folks, brown folks, yellow folks, red folks, because as long as non-white folks are procreating with white folks, then their white genetic annihilation is possible, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. And today, Donald Trump is running a racism-filled, white supremacy-filled campaign that is likened to the campaign that George Wallace, do you know that name? George Wallace. He was a devout racist in the state of Alabama. George Wallace ran a racism, white supremacy-filled campaign in 1967, 1968. And Trump's campaign is a close facsimile of what George Wallace was saying and doing back then. Do you know that in some American cities like St. Louis, Missouri, like New York City, Los Angeles, Hollywood, California, Houston, Texas, there are still some streets that are called private streets, where these streets are. The residences of these streets are limited to white folks. They are called private streets. Do you remember a few weeks ago there was a video that went viral on social media, I believe, where these two white folks, a white guy, white boy, and his white girl, wife or significant other or whatever she was waving guns at protesters that was passing down the street past their home. Well, that's the kind of behavior that white folks have displayed regarding black folks since the inception of this plantation called America. Do you know that for 401 years, the attitudes, the policies, the laws in this country has always prioritized white folks, white privilege, white opportunities, white ownership of land, white ownership of businesses, white politicians, etc., etc., etc. Do you know that there are faces of 4 presidents carved on the mountain at Mount Rushmore, South Dakota? Do you know that 2 of those presidents were slave owners? 2 of those presidents were slave owners, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. In the midst of all of the terror and chaos, including the COVID-19 pandemic of today, in the midst of all of the chaos and terror, I still believe that there are more people right here on this plantation called America. I believe that there are more people that are on the side of right than there are people that are supporting wrong, people that are supporting Trump, the Republican Party, the party of criminals and traitors. In the past 4 years, there have been numerous incidences of racist white folks using white racist cops as a lynch mob to publicly lynch, to publicly murder, to assault black folks. Black folks standing building a patio onto their own home. The white cops / lynch mob was called by a racist white woman. Black folks barbecuing in a public park. The white lynch mob, white cops, was called by a racist, irate white woman. A black man standing on his own porch was killed, publicly lynched, because some racist white person dialed 911. A black couple leaving an Airbnb residence that they had rented, paid for. A white racist woman dialed 911. The white cops arrived, arrested, assaulted the black couple. Black folks can publicly protest peacefully. The white racist cop / lynch mob will show up and assault to put the protest down. Black folks can go bird watching in Central Park. A white racist white girl dialed 911, lying about what the black man was doing in order to get the white racist cop / lynch mob to arrive and put the black man down. A young black man wearing a ski mask, walking home from the store. A white racist bastard dialed 911, told the white racist cops / lynch mob that a suspicious looking black person was in the neighborhood. The lynch mob arrived, publicly lynched, publicly murdered the young black man in the ski mask. A black mail carrier working in uniform. A white racist white girl dialed 911. The white racist lynch mob cops arrived and arrested, harassed the mailman, the postman. This is the type of things that are happening throughout this plantation called America in the era of Trump. If you listen to a few lines of the erratic, ridiculous, phony speech that Trump gave at Mount Rushmore yesterday. The speech was loaded with hatred. It was loaded with dog whistles like state rights and I am a nationalist. In other words, Trump was telling his lily white racist, black folks hating audience that he is a white nationalist, that he is comparable to a KKK active member. And the white racist crowd just loved it. They laughed, clapped, cheered at all the dog whistles, all of the coded phrases that racist white folks have learned to interpret. They heard exactly what they needed to hear. These white folks are motivated. Nonetheless, in the midst of chaos and terror, I still believe that there are more people that have moral principles. There are more people that are good. There are more people that believe in justice and equality than there are people that are followers of the Hitler doctrine. Trump is adhering to a doctrine that was presented by Richard Nixon, that was presented by George Wallace, that was presented by Ronald Reagan. All of those racist white boy presidents, Nixon and Reagan, they were devout racists. Do you know that Reagan kicked off his campaign in, was it 1980 or 1979? His campaign was kicked off in a little town of Philadelphia, Mississippi. And Philadelphia, Mississippi, happens to be where those racist white folks kidnapped, beat, assaulted, and then murdered 3 young civil rights workers back in the early 60s. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. And that is the location where Reagan kicked off his campaign for president, assuring those racist white folks in the South that he believed in the Southern strategy, that he was in support of all of their sick, racist, delusionist principles, etc., etc. In the era of Trump, we have lived, we have seen how terror and chaos can be rather successful when it's presented in the midst of hatred, racism, white supremacy, etc., etc. That's what I have on this one. Please go to the thrashaway.libsyn.com. There you will have access to all that.